Hey, my name is Robbie, and we are at Orange Blossom Studio in Phoenix, and I am going to break down a song that I produced called Milky Ways and Tidal Waves by Twin Envy. Yeah, let's get started. The intro is some keys and some reversed guitars. In my mind, it was very Jack White-esque. So let's see what's there. It's two guitars. So we've got an octave part, there's one on the left, one on the right, and they're playing the same part. I remember the actual notes and the actual progression of the notes. I was trying for, probably a half an hour to try to figure out how to play that forward so that when I reverse it, it would be that combination of notes. What I ended up doing, I just played the notes that I wanted, just single notes, and then just reverse them individually. So that's what I did. And then there's some keys, just the pulsing, these are some kind of Arturia keys. And then, again, my old friend, if you watched the Reptilian Overlords video, you saw this already, but I put this in a lot of things, like I said, and this is the spring reverb panning sound. And that by itself, without any effects, when you put spring reverb on it and a guitar amp and a pan, it sounds pretty cool. All right, let's move on to the verse. These drums were recorded in Tucson at a studio called St. Cecilia, and it is two separate drum kits. There's the hi-fi kit and the lo-fi kit, and in this song, different than in Reptilian Overlords, the hi-fi and lo-fi are switched, and so the hi-fi kit is in the verse, and the lo-fi kit is in the chorus. These are the drums. Pretty crazy snare effect. It's just a trigger with Circle's Dirt sample and Echo Boy doing its thing. Yeah, and the drops, I did that after the fact because I didn't know that I wanted those drops when we were recording. When I went in to start mixing, it just was something that needed to happen. Literally just took the audio and just chopped it out. It doesn't look like there's any rack tom in this part at all because I'm just doing those brick fills. So yeah, that's the drums. Let's see what the bass is doing. Same as Reptilian Overlords, we have a dry signal. Little fuzz on it. And then a completely wet stereo spring reverb. And then we've got just some clean rakes on the guitar in this verse. The guitar also had to be chopped because it was already recorded. They were just happening on the downbeats of the chord changes. I had to manually edit all of this to match the drums. And then we have our classic stab coming in halfway through. Just Interpol and KJ Elephant and all the things mixed together. And then the pulse keyboards. Just a stack, something really simple. And now we've made it to the chorus. Here's a transition from the verse drums into the chorus drums. We've got a single kick, we've got two snares, top and bottom, a mono kind of kit mic, a mono overhead, and then the rooms. And I said this in Reptilian Overlords, the rooms were the same room mics. Then there's sleigh bells, and some tambourine, and then the bass, just as Paul McCartney as I possibly could play. You get the idea. We've got acoustics. as magical mystery tour as we could get. Tons of flanger and chorus. I stacked 4 of them, and they're, panned out. We've got some flutes. And some mellotron strings. And piano. Yeah, so here's the chorus altogether. All right, let's move on. So now we've come to the guitar solo. So as far as drums go, the drums kind of stay the same as the chorus. Through these next couple parts, the drums are the same. We don't go back to that kind of hi-fi kit. It does look like I muted some of the mono mics we've got going here. That's just an attempt to kind of like make this part maybe a little bit smaller so that when the last chorus comes back in, everything gets a little bit bigger. The sleigh bells cut out. Bass is going to modulate up a whole step. We've got a bunch of new added instruments here. Yep. Everything we had before in that chorus. Alright, so the solo is just me doing my interpretation of a George Harrison type solo. And it starts with a double, and they're panned out. I think this is recorded with a Vox Night Train. It's got clearly lots of slapback, and then halfway through there's a harmony that comes in. Okay, a little background on this song. I was going through a lot of 60s pop and rock music, and there's a band called The Turtles, and they have a song called Eleanor. Growing up as a kid, I've heard that song a million times. This time I was paying attention. The chords of that song are really interesting, and the transition from the verse to the chorus is really interesting. They're in relative major and minor keys, and so the verse is in a minor key, and the chorus is in a major key. I had a section of this song in a demo that was just like this kind of groove. But once I heard that song by the Turtles, it was kind of like, one of those aha moments. The whole verse and pre-chorus of this song are in E minor, and the chorus is in E major. So it came time for this kind of instrumental section, and I knew I wanted kind of this guitar solo. I had the guitar solo written. The chorus, the solo, and the last chorus were all in E major. And when I went to mix it, it just kind of felt like more of the same. I just kind of had the idea that I should just modulate the solo, and so that's what I did. Cool, so that's it for the instrumentals. Let's move on to what the vocals are doing. Here's the verse by itself.
Hidden in the trees, in the ocean breeze, feel the ground crumbling beneath my feet.
It's a little more distorted. I definitely think I have some heavy decapitator on there. There's some harmonies that Jesse did.
In the ocean breeze, feel the ground crumbling beneath my feet.
Got the pre-chorus vocals, and there's lots of background vocals.
Conversations in the mirror, but it isn't clearer.
It's one of those things where it sounds crazy by itself. I listen to other people's music and albums and people that I really like and bands that I really like, and it feels really brave to just like commit to crazy flanger on a vocal. And so I wanted this project to have that same spirit, or I wanted to be really heavy-handed. So now the chorus vocals. The chorus vocals are, again, very, very affected.
Are we having fun? Fancy, free, and open.
And those are dead center. They're not panned. 2 layers of octave, and they're just being affected with a guitar amp. I went through several different distortions and effects and, things to try to find the right sound, and this is where I landed. I would never normally go to a guitar amp on a vocal. It's very reminiscent to me of like a sound that I would hear like Washed Out do. So this is what it sounds like with the track.
Are we having fun? Fancy free and open. Milky Ways and tidal waves and living on the run.
And then there's this little turnaround.
I'm not the one.
All right, what's muted? Let's see what's muted. So this is the solo section. I think these are oohs and ahs. I just ended up not liking. Let's see what they do. They're in the original key, so I would have to like really mess with them, like melodyne them to make them fit the new key. Listening back to it now, I think that I probably wouldn't use them anyway because they just feel like they're too much. All right, so the last chorus, it looks like we've got some extra background vocals. It looks like I did those, so I'm not going to solo and play those because they're probably terrible. But I do know that the last chorus changes, so the melody is different than the other choruses.
Are we having fun? Fancy free and open. Milky Ways and tidal waves and living on the run.
So yeah, there's that. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this interesting. You can like and subscribe for more. You can also follow me on Instagram, Orange Blossom Studio PHX, and we'll see you on the next video.